Sawa Nyarmoni,
Shandy Daniela.
and we're here to talk about Paul Kagame.
This man is a role model to each and every single Rwandan youth. He's the man who gave us hope and vision. He helped us in a lot of facility like education and health. There's so much to talk about this man.
Yeah, so let's see together who is he. The life of this man we all want to be like. His military life, his educational background, his family life, how he puts all this together to be the man we all see.
We'll also look at what people think about him.
So let's take a look.
Kagame was born on October 23, 1957, the youngest of 6 children in Tambwe, Rwanda, Urundi, a village located in modern southern province of Rwanda. At the time of his birth, tension between Tutsi and Hutu had been escalating through 1950s and culminated in the 1959 Rwanda Revolution. Kagame's family abandoned their home, living for 2 years in far northeast of Rwanda and eventually crossing the border into Uganda. They moved gradually north and settled in Shungerezi refugee camp in the Toro sub-region in 1962. It was around this time that as young boys, Kagame and his future comrade Fred Rwigema first met one another. Kagame began his primary education in a school near the refugee camp, where he and other Rwandan refugees learned English and began to integrate in Ugandan culture. At the age of 9, he moved to the respected Rwengoro Primary School around 16 kilometers away, graduating with best grades in the district. He subsequently attended Ntare School, one of the best schools in Uganda and also the alma mater of future Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni. The death of his father in early 1970s and the departure of Rwigema to an unknown location led to a decline in his academic performance and an increased tendency to fight those who belittled the Rwandan population. However, he completed his studies at Old Kampala Secondary School. After finishing his schooling, Kagame made 2 visits to Rwanda in 1977 and 1978. He was initially hosted by family members of his former classmates, but upon arrival in Kigali, he made contacts with members of his own family. He kept a low profile of these visits, believing that his status as well-connected Tutsi exile could lead to arrestation. On his second visit, he entered the country through Zaire rather than Uganda to avoid suspicion. Kagame used his time in Rwanda to explore the country, familiarize himself with the political and social situation, and make connections that will prove useful to him in his later activity. His military career started when he joined Yoweri Museveni's National Resistance Army (NRA) and spent years fighting as guerrilla against the government of Milton Obote in what was commonly known in Uganda as the Bush War. On July 27, 1985, Milton Obote was ousted in a military coup led by Tito Okello. In 1986, the NRA succeeded in overthrowing Okello, and the NRA leader Yoweri Museveni became president of Uganda. This same year, Kagame as a Tutsi was instrumental in forming, along with his close friend Fred Rwigema, the Rwandese Patriotic Front (RPF), which was composed mainly of expatriate Rwandan Tutsi soldiers that had also fought with the NRA. The RPF was also based in Uganda. In 1986, Kagame became the head of military intelligence in the NRA and was regarded as one of Museveni's closest allies. He also joined the official Ugandan military. During 1990, Kagame went to Fort Leavenworth, where the US Army gave him his military training. Broadening this connection, the US and UK military provided further training and active logistical support to the RPF, which it used to take over power in Rwanda after 1994. After coming to power, Kagame arranged for the RPF to receive further counterinsurgency and combat training from US Special Forces, which was put to use in 1996 to 1997. Rwandan-backed military campaign to overthrow the government of neighboring Zaire. Following the adoption of new constitution in May 2003, the government set dates for the first election to be held under new law. The presidential poll was set for 25th August 2003. In May, the parliament voted to ban Democratic Republican Movement (MDR) following a parliamentary commission report accusing the MDR of divisive ideology. The MDR had been one of the coalition parties in the transitional government of national unity and was the second largest party in the country after the RPF. Amnesty International criticized this move, claiming that the unfounded allegations against the individuals mentioned in the report appear to be part of the government-orchestrated crackdown on the political opposition. The RPF selected Paul Kagame as its presidential candidate to run for his first full term following his 3-year transitional presidency. His main challenger was Faustin Twagiramungu, who had been prime minister from 1994 to 1995 when he resigned and moved to Brussels after a disagreement with Kagame. Twagiramungu had intended to run as the candidate for the MDR, but instead thought the presidency as an independent. Following the party's banishment, Twagiramungu returned to the country in June 2003 and began campaigning in August. 2 other candidates also ran. Alvera Mukabaramba, a medical doctor and former MDR member running for the newly formed Party for Progress and Concord (PPS), and Jeanette Nepomseni Nainzira, an independent and former member of parliament who cited Believe in God as a central part of his campaign. Mukabaramba pulled out one day before the election, accusing Twagiramungu of ethnic propaganda and advising her supporters to vote for Kagame. The election went ahead on 25th August with Kagame, Twagiramungu and Nainzira as candidates. Kagame declared victory in the election on 26 August after partial results showed he had an almost unsurmountable lead, and his win was later confirmed by the National Electoral Commission. The final results showed that Kagame received 95.1% of the vote, Twagiramungu 3.6% and Nainzira 1.3%. The voter turnout was 96.6%. The campaign election day and aftermath were largely peaceful. Kagame's first term expired and new elections were held in 2010. Having served 1 term as elected president, Kagame was entitled to serve for 1 further term. The election campaign began publicly in January 2010, and in May, President Kagame was officially endorsed as RPF's candidate for the election at the party's National Congress. Kagame then became the first candidate to be accepted when he presented his electoral papers in July. 3 other candidates registered successfully for the elections. There were Jean Damascene Ntawukuriryayo of the Social Democratic Party, Prosper Higiro of the Liberal Party, and Alvera Mukabaramba of the Party for Progress and Concord. Kagame was declared the winner of the election according to results released by the National Electoral Commission on 11th August. Kagame received 93.08% of the vote, with second place Ntawukuriryayo pulling 5.15%. The turnout was 97.51% of registered vote. His Excellency Paul Kagame's achievements. Through the use of innovative institutional reforms, the Rwandan government has been able to achieve unprecedented progress since 1994. Today, the Rwandan government is internationally recognized for its achievements in gender equality, reconstruction and reconciliation, universal primary education, access to healthcare, and continuous commitment to culturally based initiatives that deliver results for every Rwandan, and the use of technology to improve the life of every Rwandan. The government of Rwanda, under the leadership of President Paul Kagame, has made women empowerment and inclusion a hallmark of recovery and reconstruction. This approach has been globally hailed as novel in both intent and scope. In May 2003, Rwanda adopted one of the world's most progressive constitutions in terms of its commitment to equal rights for all, gender equality and women representation. With 56% female representation in parliament, Rwanda has far exceeded the 30% constitutional requirements. In May 2003, Rwanda adopted one of the world's most progressive constitutions in terms of its commitment to equal rights for all, gender equality and women representation. Free basic education. The vision of the government of Rwanda is to become a knowledge-based economy with an education population that can contribute to the social and economic development of Rwanda. To achieve this goal, education has become 18% of public expenditure for the continuous committed improvement of the quality and access to education. In 1994, a three-phase policy was elaborated to achieve these goals. The commitment of resources to rebuild the education system was followed by the declaration and implementation of Universal Primary Education (UPE), followed by the declaration of implementation of Universal Primary Education (UPE), which led to the implementation of 9-year basic education in 2007. During his 2010 President Paul Kagame announced a fourth phase, free 12-year basic education. Since 1994, Rwanda has achieved universal primary education and increased the number of higher learning institutions from 1 to 29, and yearly graduates are now up to 50,000, showing a stark contrast with the With these policies, Rwanda has become a country where education is the right of every child. Homegrown solutions, 1 cow per family, Girinka Munyarwanda, initiated by President Kagame. The program is both a tribute to the Rwandan culture as well as an effective means to increase the economic status of the less privileged.
I'm called Wasiranja Damour. I'm from Glory Secondary School and I'm in S5 doing MCA as my combination. What I like about His Excellency Paul Kagame is that he helps us in developing our country, Rwanda, and he helps those who are in need very quickly in time. Thank you.
I'm by names of Eugene Raise and I'm from Gashora Girls Academy in S5 MPG as my combination. What I can say about His Excellency Paul Kagame is that he's not just a leader to me, he's just a role model. He just plays a big role in my life. Like, something that I get to learn from him is like, he don't care about what people think. He just don't get what all those rumors that just tick around saying that he's a killer, he's just all that. But what I get to learn is that I don't have to care about what people think. I just have to stick in what I have to do.
Nitwa Ishimwe Fiacre, niga mu mwaka wa gatandatu primaire, mfite imyaka 13. Kagame turamushimira by'umwihariko ko yagejeje ku baturage umuriro n'amazi, amashuri, yatanze n'inka.
Nitwa Ndushabandi Salomo, niga mu mwaka wa 3. Kagame yatugejejeho amashuri, amazi, umuriro. Ubu tubayeho neza kubera Kagame. Kagame igihugu cyacu yagishyize mu mahoro yarakirwaniriye ubu turi mu mahoro rwo nijwe jambo nifuzaga kuvuga kandi Kagame azaga umucyo.
Today, Rwanda is a peaceful nation led by a man who has strived to get it where it is today. So who is he? He is a man with Rwanda on his shoulder, but its sway will never bring him down. His Excellency Paul Kagame.